Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Gust of Wanderlust. I am your humble dungeon master, as always, Chazza, and I am joined by these lovely players, and I have a question for all of you today. And that question is... I've forgotten it. What was the question? Yeah, what unusual talent does your character possess?
Hello, I'm Sam. I am playing Pier, the centaur/fighter. I should add that detail because it's quite important.
The centaur/fighter, not the artificer/fighter.
Artificer. It's been a long day, okay, man. Shut up. I'm half centaur, half fighter. No. Okay. My unique talent is I can lick both of my elbows at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive.
That's pretty talented.
Horse tongue.
I thought you meant horse elbows. Like.
Oh, yeah, all of my... I mean, I actually probably... maybe not the back... Oh, okay. I'll try that next time.
Can you get the back ones? Are there more knees, though, I suppose?
Which ones
That's
are
true.
the knees on the centaur? Like
The
horse part of the
hind
centaur
legs.
I have 4
They're both
knees.
legs. They're all legs.
They're all legs. And never mind.
I'm Matt, also known as Matthew, and I play the Catawumpus. And the Catawumpus has many, many different unusual talents, of which he has yet to learn, but can almost definitely already do. But one of such is that he can read, write, and understand very many languages.
That's true. A god-awful amount.
Hello, I'm Rayla, and I'm playing Kasper, the little heckin' rogue magpie guy. And Casper's little hidden talent is that everyone knows that he can play the xylophone pretty well. But did you know that he could also play it with his feet, not just his hands?
Whoa. Well, I am Taylor, also playing Neil. Neil is very unusual, but doesn't really have many talents. However,
What do you mean?
he has dabbled in the sport of ballet.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa! That's pretty demure.
That one is in tripped up.
Yeah, and in sport as in competitive.
Tried to spin around and then fell over.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a little recap, shall we? So, yes, last week you entered a hole from which this purple light was emanating, and you continued down this strange tunnel system. You found an armory and a laboratory, which both seemed to be ransacked, as in they were stripped clean, and there was not much in them, until you heard a thumping coming from another door through the laboratory, and inside you found a chicken-sized flesh monster that wanted to eat Pier.
Hooray!
You handily defeated it, after which you saw that it seemed to have escaped from some sort of glass cage, and maybe the people who were here were experimenting on the poor beast. As you continued down the hallway, you noticed runes on the walls, all in different languages, spelling out the word probe. And you also heard a faint chanting coming from further down the hallway, where the purple light was coming from. You carried on loudly down the hallway, and the chanting stopped. And as you entered through the hallway, you came into a large circular room with a massive circular bowl with a purple portal in it, with the purple orb floating above it, which I failed to mention last time until very late. And 6 cultists scattered around this bowl, all staring at you because they heard you coming. Neil proceeded to talk his way into getting a lot of information about some snake gods from a friendly cultist named Jeff.
Good old Jeff.
You learnt they were here to try and postpone a prophecy about ending the world, but only to bring about an end of the world of their own. A different cultist didn't fall for Neil's charms and stood out of line, and doing so ensued a fight with the cultists and some quasit demons that came through the portal. You managed to deal with them quite easily, but not before Kasper shoved his head through the portal.
Yippee!
Seeing a horrendous landscape with a purple sky filled with lightning and corpses all around. After the fight, the Catawumpus reached for the orb, you touched it, and a shockwave emitted and you all blacked it out. And that is where we resume our time here. So I need you all to roll initiative for me.
Already?
We're starting off hot, dude.
Oh God.
We just woke up. Fuck's sake.
So sorry. What did we see? Are we just waking up? Have we seen anything yet?
Everything is blacked out. As far as you know, you are unconscious.
Okay, fine. Oh great. I got a 3.
So we're fighting our dreams.
3 for Neil. What did everyone else get? Catawumpus got 9.
4.
19.
Do we get a long rest so we can level up?
No.
Denied. Several times.
So eventually, you all come to. Well, you don't come to. You can tell you're still unconscious, but you can see all of your compatriots with you, your employees, Neil, or your colleagues, everyone else, sort of floating in this, well, endless abyss. There's just purple and darkness around, apart from this floating orb in front of all of you. And it has like an eye slit going down it, sort of like it's looking at you. It goes over to Kasper first.
I squint at it.
And you have a flashback, Kasper. And everyone else can see this too.
Ooh.
It's sort of like projected on like a screen.
No, not my intimate memory.
This orb goes deep into your mind. Probably a very repressed memory from when you were very young. As far as you know, you're reliving the memory. You're seeing through your younger self's eyes. You're about 4 or 5 years old, maybe, and you've just finished sweeping the entirety of the tower in which you live and have spent the majority of your life up to this point, which obviously your father figure instructed you to do whilst he worked in his office on important things, and it was just to keep you busy and not disturb him. You have, as I said, just finished, and you slowly start to make your way up the very long spiral staircase that you see in wizard towers, you know, and you're just sort of dragging your feet, very bored. And as you get there, you can hear him talking to someone, which is odd, because you didn't know anyone else was here. In fact, you haven't seen anyone else in months? You can't remember. But you also see a faint purple pulsing, similar to what you saw here, coming from his office. You peek into the room, and you see a much smaller version of this portal that you had just put your head through, in a smaller bowl on his desk, which he's talking into. And you start to listen to them, and they're speaking in a language that you have never been taught or instructed to learn, yet you somehow just instinctively know what they're saying, but you can only catch the end of the footsteps as your father figure says, "My king, I hear footsteps," and he quickly covers the portal and immediately turns around suddenly, spotting you peeking through the door. And as he turns around, you see a high elven man, tall, slender, slicked back black hair, but his eyes are the same luminous purple that you saw in the animals in Ostbourne recently. And you see a fury come over his face. You've seen him angry, but you've never seen him this angry. And he rushes towards you, picking you up by the scruff of your neck and starts storming down the tower, mumbling to himself and to you, "I've tried to be patient with you, but this is the last straw. Mark 1, it's time for you to go." And he throws you into a potato sack and opens the door, hands you to a guard, and says, "Take it somewhere quiet and execute it." And the orb pulls away from you, and you come back out of the vision.
Not the sack. Actually gained claustrophobia.
Oh, dude.
But you can add to your character sheet that you know how to speak and understand Abyssal.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I will not say no to that.
Then the orb flies over to Catawumpus.
Oh, shit.
It goes even further back in your memory.
Oh, shit.
Just memories are flashing past that you had forgotten because they weren't important to you. You're seeing things that you're immediately forgetting again because it's of no use. Until it gets to a point when you are but a baby in your first year of life.
Oh, shit.
Which is extremely odd because you remember being told explicitly to forget everything that happened in your first year of life. But you are laying in a broken down, overturned carriage covered in blood, and a couple of corpses near you Your parents, maybe. It's hard to say. But you lay there waiting until a few hours go by and a strange figure goes by the window. Was it crawling? Walking? You can't tell. It opens the carriage door with a sudden motion, and you can't see it at first, but it reaches its horrendously long, gangly limbs into the carriage and picks you up and brings you out of it. The being places you propped up against the side of the carriage so you can see it as it just sits there observing you, grinning at you. You see a horrendously long-limbed creature with some cat-like features similar to your own. Another tabaxi, maybe? But not at the same time as the way this creature moves. It moves in a way you would imagine something from someone's nightmares would move. Its eyes are huge, too big for its head, and its horrendously large grin bearing human teeth shouldn't fit on this face. Such a small head. Yet, also being covered in fur with arms that appear longer than its actual body. It sort of just squats there, hovering above the ground by like an inch, grinning at you for a while, until it just suddenly gets up, picks you up, and starts walking without saying a word. You travel in the clutches of this eldritch-like being for a few days before it realizes that it should probably give you some sort of sustenance. You travel for a few weeks, but you start to notice that the being seems to be almost flaking away or fading out of existence, until one day he plunks you down so you can face it as it leans against the tree, slowly fading away, grinning at you, the same grin it always had, until a familiar red-robed elven lady comes by and stabs the creature, and it fades into nothingness like it was never there. As the lady turns to you, you also see that her eyes are this luminous purple colour, but they fade away into a brown, but they were this luminous purple colour. And she picks you up and takes you, and walks for a few days before plonking you down on some sort of hay bale, and says to you, "Now you're going to stay here until someone comes and collects you. But one thing you must do is forget everything that ever happened in your first year on this mortal plane." And then she walks away. And then the orb comes away from you.
Fucking sick.
Now, the orb, the eye, goes over to Pier.
It's me, baby.
You have a flashback.
Not again.
God, try being original, Pear, god damn it.
Now, it doesn't go as far back for you, because it only goes back 2 years for you.
Oh no.
You were in the middle of a horrendous battle, leaping through the air into a crowd of enemies, crushing the ones beneath your hooves, while burning others alive with your flame cannons, and fending off another one in front of you with your scimitar.
Fantastic. Home.
You must have killed 30 or so by now, maybe more.
Quite a slow day.
But you're feeling great. And as you get ready to charge in to another skirmish that's happening, you start to see crackling in the sky, this purple crackling, and then it's like the sky tears open, and you see a much, much larger version of the portal you saw here, but a lot more untamed and not round, because it's not in a bowl, it's just sort of crackling and going every which way. But before you can process this rift in space and time, a gargantuan two-headed ape-like monstrosity with pseudopod-like tentacles where arms should be and a rather dinosaur-looking lower body falls through and crushes everyone underneath it and starts attacking everything it can see. You muster what remains of your men. You start trying to draw its gaze, and you prepare to, well, attack, while both sides of this war are joining forces to attack this beast. As you stand across from the beast, preparing to charge at it, you see your infantry captain, mentor, and friend, Kamos. A pale blue-skinned tiefling with greying hair, retreating and calling for you to do the same. Stubborn as ever, you ignore his pleas and charge the beast. It easily grabs you with one of its tentacles and slams you down onto the floor and throws you across the battlefield.
The cause of all my problems right there.
Thinking nothing of you, and you fall unconscious. This is usually where your memory of this moment cuts off, and you cut to 2 weeks later in a hospital. But you feel your consciousness coming back, but your vision is incredibly blurry and not focusing. All you see is some type of humanoid standing over you. Could be short, could be tall, you can't really tell because your vision isn't focusing, but with luminous purple where their eyes should be. Everything else about them can't be determined. Height can't be determined. Race can't be determined due to your blurred vision.
Fucking amnesia.
But as your vision starts to come back into focus, slowly they stomp on your face and you fall back unconscious. And the Vorb pulls away from you.
Huh.
And it goes over to the old man, Neil. It goes further back than in anyone else's, because no one is as old as you. But it goes further back. It is your 300th birthday, and you are sat around a table playing poker with a few mates. You're winning. You're having a great time. Until suddenly you hear a loud bang come from downstairs, and you usher someone to go check it out. They do, and a few minutes go by, but then you hear a horrendous scream from downstairs as well, which you immediately get up and draw your sword and turn around. To which you are greeted by two of your best friends, Isaac and Ian, with their blades pointed at you. And Ian says, "Have you lost your touch, old man?" "It's not personal, though." And Isaac says, "It's just business." And they both take turns stabbing into you as you fall to your knees. Then from behind them, you see one of your bestest friends, Peter Parsons, come walking towards you, knife in hand, as you look up at him, with thick blood flowing from your chest and your neck from these stab wounds you've already sustained. He winks at you, and as his eye opens from the wink, it is glowing luminous purple, just like in all these other visions that you've seen. And then he thrusts his dagger into your chest, and you fall unconscious. And then the orb pulls away from you, and it just sort of looks at all of you, and then it turns around, and it projects a vision of what you can only assume is the future, and you see the world, all the different continents. Well, not all the different continents. The known world, let's say. And you see the snowy continent. Don't think many of you would know its name. Purple gets placed there, and then it starts expanding over the entire continent. And then on Pleidios, the same thing happens, which is Pier's home, and it starts expanding across the entire continent. The same happens on Iron Oak, which is the continent to the west. And then from the south, below the known world margin, also comes this purple, all crawling towards the continent which you are on, as it slowly encompasses the oceans, the land of your world, the area where Ostborn is, the area where many of you have travelled, until everything is purple and dark, and you just hear a sinister and then you'll black out again.
Well, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, did we notice Jeff at all during this?
You did not notice Jeff.
Damn. I wanted to see
Bang.
Jeff's
See
memories.
Jeff's memory. Exactly.
Can I just check one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Was, from my memory, for example,
Mm.
did I remember that purple glint is in his eyes, or is that just like an...
It's like
Is
a
that something
new thing.
Okay, fine.
It's like something you
So-
probably would have missed the first time or forgotten.
Yeah, sure.
Neil, you're the first one to slowly start to gain consciousness again in this circular room. And you're greeted by the familiar sight that you often see when you're passed out. Amelia stood over you, healing you back to life, and just giving you smelling salts to wake you up. And once she realizes you're waking up, she quickly runs over to everyone else and wakes you all up.
Amelia,
Whoa.
what happened?
I don't
Fuck,
know.
my head hurts.
I went out foraging, found a tree with a staircase in it, thought, ooh, and then came down here and you were all here.
A tree? You could have gotten here by a tree.
You didn't get here
That
via
would've
a
been-
tree?
No.
I think we did. There was like a tree growing outside the cave, wasn't
We
there?
jumped down a cliff.
No.
Cliff.
You just jumped off a cliff.
Oh.
We almost died.
Fuck.
We plummeted to our death. You just took the tree staircase.
Well, I mean, you must have got distracted along the way.
I mean, well, yeah, you know us. You know us. Well, you know most of us.
Neil, you do notice you have a letter on your person that wasn't there before.
Oh. I will definitely open it and read it privately to begin with.
Well, it's from Jeff.
Okay.
Can you read me the description of what you did to charm him?
Yeah, absolutely. You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. The charmed creature regards you as friendly acquaintance, but the spell ends. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. It lasts an hour.
Oh, an hour. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it's not concentration, so...
Wonderful. Well, the note says, "You've given me a lot to think about, my friend. Hopefully we see each other again one day. Jeff."
Okay. I will keep it private, and I'll put it in my back pocket. You see a slight tear roll from Neil's eye. It definitely wasn't to do with Jeff. It was definitely to do with the visions he saw, but
So we have a friend in Jeff for an hour until he realizes which shit I was charmed.
Yeah.
You've got a
And-
friend in Jeff.
Jeff was my best friend.
You do see the orb is here, just on the floor.
Well, I'll take the orb.
Okay. You walk over to the orb. Casper, in your head, you hear, "Don't let him take it."
Kasper will try to distract the Catawumpus with a little dance.
Roll a performance check then, I guess.
That was the best I could come up with on the spot. Oh, damn. Okay, well, you see, I got an unnatural 20.
Ooh.
Okay. Are you distracted?
Concentration check.
Honestly, I'm easily distracted. Because the thing with ravens and crows and all that, right? Underrated part about them is that their feathers are kind of shiny. So
are.
with the dancing and everything, these purple ripples are going around the place, and Catawumpus is going to look straight on over and go like, "Oh well, clearly this is something that I should be paying attention to right now." So we'll just, with his standard grin, watch the dance until it concludes, still facing in the direction of the orb with everything other than his head, just waiting for the dance to conclude.
And Kasper continues. He's desperate. He will rip off his shirt to make it sparkle more. Starting off strong.
Completely
Dang.
unnecessary, but fair
Wait,
enough.
it's a whole tunic. Actually, it's just like because the tunic kind of goes cross body, so he just like he's still wearing it, kind of, I guess.
Well, the Catawumpus fortunately doesn't have any kind of issue with nudity of any kind, given his own situation. So this is just completely fine and normal and part of the dance to him.
And for a little bit of flavor, he's probably pulling off the Club Penguin dance routine.
Oh, classic, yeah. That does indeed include a striptease.
During this time, while they're doing that, Neil will sort of go towards Pier and sort of slyly sort of talk to him. Try keeping it slightly on down low. And he goes, Did you see what I saw?
I don't know. What did you see?
I mean, it looked like you have the flame cannon.
Oh yeah, that would be accurate. I had one of those.
I saw some of everyone's backstory, really. And
I did as well.
I saw the purple crackling you saw in the sky.
Purple, yep, that's the colour, yep.
Do you remember seeing that on the day?
Nope. Well,
Hmm.
No, I didn't remember the crackling, did I? I only remembered the...
No. You only remember the beast.
No, because I was completely passed out by then. No, the second I got picked up and slammed by that big fucking myxomatosis goblin thing, I was out. I didn't see anything beyond that, I don't think.
You do notice that Neil is he's generally a pretty jolly guy, but he's looking pretty serious and worried almost.
Did you notice the colours of that there fella you were talking to?
No, not at all.
I mean, that's slightly concerning now.
Lots to think about.
Indeed. I think we're a bit in a bit of hot water here, my friend. And I'm not talking about the dance moves over there.
Neil will just sort of not rudely, but just kind of like move away to himself.
So while Neil is going off into his secluded corner, I noticed the dance, and I admire how endearing it is. And then I see the orb on the floor, and see that the Catawumpus is not picking up the orb. So I will then go and pick up the orb.
Okay. you start to walk over to the orb.
Right. This is the bastard.
Kasper, in your head, the voice says, "What are you doing?"
I'm helping.
Pick up the orb.
Kasper interrupts his dance routine and says, guys, I think we should bring this orb. I really didn't think we should bring this orb. But I have a suggestion for team here, because you guys do so much work and I'm so tiny and useless, and I feel like, because I have really gentle hands, we don't want to destroy the orb. We don't know if that could set off like a chemical reaction or something. So maybe I should hold on to it just to keep it safe.
The Catawumpus picks up the orb.
Okay. Okay. Kasper, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh Lord.
And Catawumpus, you pick up the orb. It's like a football, or if you're American, soccer-sized orb. But as you pick it up, it shrinks, so it fits nicely in the palm of your hand.
Which will be the tiniest amount, admittedly. Unless it shrinks to be the point where I can grip my entire paw around it.
Cricket ball size. Let's say cricket ball size.
Oh, okay, quite a bit smaller then.
Yeah.
You mean baseball-sized?
Like, any listener to this podcast is gonna have to have like a very serious amount of knowledge about balls for some reason.
Yes. Yes, they will.
Very important.
They will.
Okay, well, it shrinks to about a third of the size. There you go.
A third of the size of a football, viewers.
Yes. Exactly. If you don't know what a football looks like, Google it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
Right, what did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
You want to attack the Catawumpus.
Okay, well, I would say Casper's feathers are kind of racing up, kind of. He's doing like a bird would, kind of rocking back and forth. He's really mad. Just like, what are you doing? I thought we had a plan.
The Catawumpus is not at all bothered by this.
Well, I think Kasper will probably launch himself onto the Catawumpus. Just jump like a little gremlin.
I assume are you aiming for the orb? Or just jumping
Yes.
onto the Catawumpus?
Well, I think aiming for the Catawumpus to take the orb.
Okay. Roll a... Oh, what would you roll for that? Athletics or acrobatics,
Well, I'm
I
definitely
suppose.
doing acrobatics.
And the Catawumpus roll opposed.
Okay.
Fuck.
What did you roll?
9.
Okay.
14.
The Catawumpus does the thing. Just puts it in the air. Just holds his hand in the air.
In that same motion, the Catawumpus would probably turn to Pierre, who is, I believe, right next to
Yeah, I'm
me.
pretty close to you.
And just hand the orb to Pierre. This orb has interested the Catawumpus a lot less than he thought it would.
Kasper will switch target and start climbing up the leg of Pear like one of those kittens, you know?
Make another whiz save.
I'm just gonna pick it up in my hand and be like, oh, thank you there, bud.
Neil's gonna pull out his seat and sit down on it and just watch this unfold.
Well, I got a 6 this time, so it's super much better.
Yes, you want to. You still want the orb. You can start climbing. Pear.
Which leg? I have 4.
Front, closest to the orb?
Okay, my front left. So I'm gonna, with the orb in my hand, and I notice you. What are you doing there? And I'm just gonna put my hand on your forehead.
Gimme.
Are you alright there? Can I help you with something there? Young one?
I want to hold on to it. I know I can do a good job. I promise. I know I'm bad at so many things, but I think I could hold on to an object for at least an hour without breaking it. Please.
No, why would I just trust you with that? I think you're doing quite well.
My
I think
hands are
you're doing
soft.
fine.
They're soft and gentle, and this orb would be safe. I need it.
You need it.
I need it. It looks so cool. I'm a bird, you see. I like shiny things. It's the shiniest thing I've ever saw.
It's not that shiny. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a gleam to it.
I have lived in a filthy brothel in my past. I think most things that aren't covered in filth is pretty shiny.
Now that's a bit of character detail I wasn't looking for. I'm thinking horrible things about this orb now. So you can have it.
Thank you.
Purely because I'm thinking about it now.
The Catawumpus also sort of brothel when he held the orb.
Alright, I don't want the orb. It's making me think of horrible things. It's yours. Just keep hold of the brothel orb.
Yes.
The brothel orb is not something that anybody should want.
Not anymore. That's all I can think. Oh, why would you have an orb? What kind of things could you be doing?
Okay, so you now have the orb, Kasper.
Yes, I am not holding this
Okay.
brothel orb.
Yes!
How big are your hands?
As big as Kenku's would be.
Okay, sure. You can hold a cricket/baseball. Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to touch it. Anyone can hold it now. I just wanted to make sure it was safe.
Who am I talking to?
You don't need to know that information yet, child.
Are you saying this out loud, Kasper?
Yes. I'm probably crouching and whispering.
Like Gollum in the corner.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. It's my imaginary friend.
I'm slightly concerned about you,
Thanks.
but we have more pressing matters.
Many
Okay.
people have thought that the Catawumpus is imaginary before. This is a perfectly normal piece of behavior.
Yeah.
It's our collective imaginary friend.
Alright, so, my dear healer lady, can you show us the exit, please?
Well, first of all, what happened?
Now that's a story. So you see, there were some cultists.
Yes, I see the corpses.
Yes, yeah, they were Yuanti. They were the snake fuckers. They were trying to free their god or some shit like that.
Okay.
So we infiltrated them, pretending to be them. But they were ungodly racists.
Yes, that tracks.
Yeah, they were some pieces of work. I can tell you that much.
I thought they were quite nice, personally. Especially Jeff. He was my friend. If you look at it, and I'm not saying I'm on their side, but if you look at it, they were trying to stop demons from returning, I think.
By summoning their own demon.
By summoning devils, I think.
Well, both are bad. So we
Yeah.
don't want either, really.
You see, Jeff had potential.
He had an hour's worth of potential.
He was just so friendly. Anyway,
We killed them.
Yes, I also see this, and she kicks a Quasic corpse.
Yeah, that came out of the portal that they summoned.
That's the opposite of what they want to summon, though. That's a demon.
Yeah, they did something wrong because we interfered.
Ah.
I think that's the way it kind of played out. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I'm not familiar with this kind of stuff. So something doodah, magic, whatever, happened. Then something happened with the portal after we killed them, and we all blacked out. And then that wee orb that the little bird fella has started to fly into us and reveal our deepest, darkest secrets, which all have something in common or something like that. It was a bit of a trip, not going to lie. And now we're back, and now you're here.
Sorry, I just like the constant chiming of Kasper. Yeah!
Oh, I do remember Seth and Makel, I think. They were trying to bring back...
Mishalk?
Maybe, yes.
Raquel?
I don't know. My handwriting's very bad.
The twin devil snakes. Wonderful.
Yes, they're trying to bring back them.
Not great news.
Oh.
So either demons, devils, or both?
Devils.
I have a thing. So we kind of had to expose all of our intimate memories to each other, and apparently we've all kind of had experiences with this purple stuff before. So this seems to be a very long, extensive problem into the past, yes.
At least 70 years, yeah.
Well, I've not even known this was here, this building, and I've lived here nearly my entire life.
I think the original owners have popped their clogs, as it were.
Do you know who owned it?
The probe. We saw the probe. I don't know what that means. We tried to glue it together. We couldn't crack it.
Never heard of that either.
But they seem to be doing some kind of chemical, biological shite, because we found a room with an ungodly chicken.
Oh, they mentioned the Order.
The Order. Oh, I knew an exile from there, I think. Order of Eramunis? Well, Eramunis was the dad god, the original snake god.
Dad?
He had 3 children, Seth, Mishalk, and Dendar. Dendar was shunned by the evil, quote-unquote, Yuan, but Dendar was the only one to ascend to full godhood. The other 2 were demigods, tried to ascend to godhood, but didn't succeed because they got banished before that could happen, because they just wanted to rule everything and be bad people. Yay.
Relatable.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Relatable?
Yes. No. Whatever is morally correct in this situation.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully dictatorship is not relatable.
I think the main thing we have to decide here is whether these cultists had anything to do with the purple creatures, or if they were preventing the purple creatures. Because they said they were trying to stop the end of the world, and they were trying to stop the demons coming out of the pot. Or maybe they were making them, I don't know.
They're really bad at their job.
I think it had some kind of effect on the whole scenario, but I don't think they were directly, knowingly involved with it, seeing as they didn't know what the fuck was happening with them when we asked them. Not that they would have given us any information anyway, but still. And plus that weird orb, which showed us the flashbacks of said purple thing.
But the orb was floating on top of the bowl, right?
Aye.
So, were they controlling that, or preventing it?
If only we didn't kill them all.
His name is Boris.
Boris?
The orb? His name is Boris.
Boris?
Yeah.
How do you know?
He told me.
Oh. Wait, have you been speaking to him?
The orb's speaking to you?
Well, I mean, just like any other imaginary friend would.
Aren't you like 23?
Who says that there's an age cap on imaginary friends?
Good point.
The one thing I do think is, why would they leave the orb behind if it meant so much to them?
I think because we killed them all.
Not Jeff.
Not Jeff.
Well, did you charm Jeff in a way?
Oh yes, I did.
Maybe he thought it was best to leave it with you then.
He was our friend for an hour.
a lifetime.
We should leave before he comes back then.
I think we set up a booby trap before we leave.
You wanna kill Jeff?
Well, only if he comes back.
What if we just make like a little pit, a hidden pit instead? You can come back later and check it out.
I mean, maybe I was thinking a little bit too aggressive. I was thinking of tying a string to the bomb and blowing them to smithereens when they trip it. But maybe that's not the best idea.
Well, you guys are doing this for someone in town, right?
Yes, we need to make sure that all of the purple-eyed creatures have stopped.
Well, maybe someone in town knows more about this place and that you shouldn't try and destroy it?
Okay.
Let's not leave it out as an option.
Okay. I'm down to bomb something.
Excuse me?
Now that's my girl.
A quick DM question. What does the mighty acorn do?
Oh, your mighty acorn. You can throw it anywhere on the ground, soil, and it immediately sprouts a 20-foot oak tree.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
What a nuts.
That could be useful. Thank you. What time is it, roughly?
I'd say it's about, 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's probably best we head back to town and maybe relay the information to a few people and see if they know any more.
I think that's a mighty fine idea.
Yeah.
Also, I'm knackered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can all sleep at mine before you go back into town if you want.
I think that'd
That
be
would
lovely.
be lovely, Amelia. That would be fantastic.
You all make your way back to Amelia's Hagrid hut, because there's no better way to describe it.
Hell yeah.
Kasper,
Yes.
during the night you have a dream. A horrendous dream.
No.
You're just in this void, again, that you were in earlier, and you see the orb, Boris.
Boris.
Boris has the eye again on it, and is just sort of there, until it just sort of floats up till it's about 20 feet above you, and then a form forms around it, and this orb is in the center of a forehead of this giant figure. You don't see any features of this person, it's just a silhouette, but they have two luminous purple eyes. Who would have thunk it? This person just sort of paces back and forth. Blood of my blood.
Whose blood?
My blood.
Why are you bleeding?
You'll understand in time, child. Do you know how long it takes to convince an entire cult that their gods aren't dead and that they're actually summoning me instead of their gods?
This is a very complicated math question.
Well, it's not that long, as it turns out. It took me an afternoon.
Whoa.
But you're interesting.
Am I? What have I done?
And you've provided me with an opportunity I didn't think any mortal was stupid enough to do.
Excuse you.
You've given me a vessel. So I like you, and I'm going to hang around in your head for a while.
I've never heard anyone call me stupid and interesting, and that they like me at the same time.
Well, you're a very special case.
I'm special.
I understand you didn't have the best father figure. Perhaps that can be me.
Is this a Darth Vader shit?
You wake up!
Whoa, I'm sweaty.
Just for reference, Neil probably wouldn't sleep amazing. Is there any chance he would have caught any, dream movement from Kasper?
Kasper, do you speak in your sleep?
I do. I do.
You do speak in your sleep?
Even if
Yes.
it's just agitation or anything.
Okay, well, you heard some sort of mumbling, interesting,
Daddy?
Dad? You know when someone's speaking in their sleep and it's sort of mumbled incoherentness? And yeah, you catch some speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, you all wake up. Bright, shiny day.
Good morning.
You probably all dream about the visions you had other than Kasper.
Oh, yeah. Can I sleep forge? You know, like
What the no.
remembering.
Okay, you all wake up and you're served a delicious spread of carrots and eggs.
Hell yeah!
Ooh, okay, I'll take it. Neil will tuck into the food, sort of looking around, seeing if anyone looks uncomfortable, nervous, or scared. Sort of just keeping his wits about him. Just making sure no one seems suspicious.
Does anybody seem suspicious?
You know what? I'm gonna have an egg.
That's suspicious.
Casper's not eating.
You're not eating. Okay.
No.
How come you're not eating, Kasper?
I'm not feeling like it. I'm a bit full on dream food. Yeah.
What dream food?
The typical sort, waffles and not pineapples.
You did look a little bit agitated last night. Did
You watch me
you have some
sleep?
bad dreams? No, I was only keeping watch, making
Oh.
sure nothing bad was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like most of us probably had some bad dreams, but yeah, I had this weird guy say that he's my daddy, and I'm not into that. I don't.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've never really seen this guy before.
So it wasn't the one you saw in the tower. I don't mean to pry.
No, I don't. I know.
Was it this Boris fella you've been chatting about?
Boris?
Aye.
Well, I mean, I don't. It doesn't look like Boris. Boris is just an Orbis.
Oh yeah, the brothel orb.
I think this is like one of those dreams that I should probably talk to like a shaman about. Probably means something really deep. Like I have daddy issues, which I totally don't have.
Well, all right.
I mean, why would he otherwise offer to be my dad? He literally said it, that I had really bad.
If you don't mind me asking, who was the gentleman working while you were sleeping all of the floors
What? Like,
in the past?
well, the guy that threw me out, or
Yeah.
well, he was the guy who created me. I think he's the closest I have to a dad.
I can stop if you like, but I'm just sort of getting an idea for the party. And, if we're going to be traveling together, it's probably good to get to know each other a little bit more. I was
It's
just wondering,
true.
he said you were Mark 1.
I don't really know what that means. I wasn't really named Casper in that tower. It's probably the closest he's given me to a name.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry anymore.
That's alright. I mean, I saw your weird past, so like, I mean, I don't mind.
Oh, I suppose on that note, I should probably ask you all very politely to not mention anything you saw.
Well, yeah, we're best buddies now. Like, we're taking this to the grave, hopefully.
And Casper eyes everyone. Squint.
Well, anyway, let's stop all of this serious chat. Let's get a move on. Let's go to town, get a drink. Thank you again, Amelia. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she hugs all of you.
Thank you for teaching me.
She
Thank
sends
you,
you
my
all
dear.
the way. She, even though probably Catawumpus doesn't reciprocate the hug, but she goes for a hug, sees you not reciprocating, pats you on the side.
Yeah, Catawumpus just watches her grinning the whole time, just like going, yeah, well, I don't know what you're doing, but I'll watch it.
And she releases the boar back into the wild because it's no longer afflicted by this madness that was causing it.
Oh, okay. So we can confirm that so far we can see that the purpleness has gone.
Yes, she goes over the fact that she was probably down there all night seeing if it was coming back on. Yeah, no, it seems like it's gone.
Well, I think we go and see, what was his name? The old mayor.
Aye, yeah.
Wilbur Sting. Let's go. See if we can, if we see Wilbur, he might have a little present for us all, and we can get a beautiful feast.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, you
Yes.
you head on in. You know his office is in West Side. which you don't have access to unless you pay 15 gold. But he did, I don't think he said it, but you could insinuate that he, because Crush was with him, Logan was with him, he would probably suggest you go there, and then Logan would take you up to see him. But yeah, you make your way back in through the refugee tents and new resident tents, because again, East Side is decrepit. You go through the slums, you go through the streets, you passed by the forge, you passed by the tavern where you all met. You go to the guards' waypoint in East Side, and you speak to Logan. He's like, all right.
Hello, Logan. We want to see Wilbur Sting, if possible.
All right. Okay. He slowly gets out of his chair. He's like, follow me. And he takes you up the road towards the bridge into West Side. As the gate opens, you see a completely different city. It's bustling with rich people, nobles here and there, and people dressed in fine clothes, and the buildings are all very colourful. East Side is similar, but it's just a lot of muck and grime on all the buildings, and you can't really see the colour anymore. The only colourful building is Bisk's shop, pretty much. Think of a Scandinavian town, how colourful, like red and yellows you see there. That's the sort of the aesthetic of the buildings here. It's a lot posher. There's a lot more businesses going on. There's a lot more. There's not people on the streets because people don't need to be on the streets because things are open. You can now see clear as day how much he cares about his side of town rather than East Side. And yeah, you make your way up to the town hall.
Kasper is quickly gonna just put on his shirt again. Because he feels very underdressed.
Understandably.
How much was it that I had to pay everyone every day again? Was it 5 gold? Was it 10?
gold.
Was it 5?
It was 5 gold per head.
I'll just go up to each of them and go, sorry, just quickly, thought I'd give you a heads up. Here's your money for the day. And I'll give them like 5 each.
Could I just have the orb?
You can have the orb as well.
Thank you.
But...
Pierre, don't be greedy.
Boris!
You all have to share, Pierre. You got the salt stone, so
You got a salt lick.
Takes a little licks of it every now and again.
Okay, yes, you make your way up to City Hall. It's like a bright white building. It's sort of like the White House. You're greeted by a tiefling receptionist who's like, what business do you have in?
Here to see Wilbur Sting.
Do you have an appointment?
Absolutely.
Name?
If you just tell him that Neil and his posse are here.
Yeah.
Is what?
The Catawumpus does not think that this is a fair name for you to call the Catawumpus.
Tell him Neil, the Catawumpus, Pierre, and Kasper. Egon? Is Egon here?
No, Aegon's not here.
We're here to see him. We have resolved his issue.
Okay, well, she calls over a large Minotaur man dressed in finery and says, "Go tell Wilbur that these people are here, please." And she just gets back on with her work. Sit down. And she gestures to some chairs.
Is there any magazines?
Sure, there's a newspaper, the Ostbourne Gazette.
Any candy?
Candy.
Yeah, any candy?
There's Werther's Originals.
Yeah!
No, sherbet lemons.
Oh, even better.
Aw.
Yes.
Anything interesting in the Ostbourne Gazette?
Not really, just stuff about animal attacks. I mean, there's a small, very small advertisement, which is just Airgun's ad for security. Yeah, no, it's just mainly about animal attacks on East Side, news about the Empress coming to visit town soon for the election, Wilbur Sting versus Revis. That's pretty much the gist of it. After a while, the Minotaur comes back and ushers you through to bring you up to Wilbur's office.
I hope they have better canyon there. The fancy stuff.
You make your way up to Wilbur's office. It's a very small office. It's probably it's like a broom closet size, but big enough for all of you to fit in it. So it's not broom closet size, but it's the smallest office in the building. Yes, I forget I have to account for a 8-foot tall centaur sometimes.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, you can tell it's probably the smallest office, so he doesn't really have room to put things of sentimental value on the walls. Because he's just sort of hoping to move up in the world. And he's like, hello.
Hello.
Good news?
Hello, Mr. Sting. We have, I believe, resolved your issue.
Okay, what was causing said issue?
Kasper?
The Zorb.
And he lifts it up and points at it.
Can I see that? He holds
No.
out for it. Why?
Because I'm its dad now. His name is Boris.
I'm afraid I must insist.
Okay, just a regular checkup, but please give it back later.
I'm afraid the little one here has become quite protective of the orb. I think just to shield it from its power, protect it from...
Egg! It's my egg.
Well, that's a turn of events.
My son!
Sure.
Yeah, he picks up the orb and is like, well, there's nothing special about it. It's just a purple orb.
But you see, this was the arcane focus for 6, what they called Yuan-Ti?
Oh, you didn't say there was magic involved?
No, yes.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
6 Yuan-Ti cultists trying to bring back their demonic or devilish lord, who was... whatever their name was. Marshall, was it, or something?
Shalk and Seth.
There you go.
Oh.
And you see, we killed them, including Jeff, and this is now stopped. We've tested on a wild boar.
Okay.
And it seems as if the effect has disappeared. So no more angry monsters.
So it wasn't space rabies like you guys said earlier?
Well, space rabies, you see, it's a phrase for evil demonic worship.
Yeah, spiritual space rabies.
He calls for the Minotaur. This Minotaur is called Mindor.
Mindor the Minotaur.
Mindor the Minotaur. Mindor, would you fetch a Torna for me? And the Minotaur runs off. Well, I'll have the head of the Mage Guild of Osborne have a look, see if she can discern anything. But all animals no longer bitey, clory.
Definitely on not this side of Osborne.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, this side has always not been, bad.
It's never reached
It's never reached west side, no. It's always been east side.
Aw.
That's why everyone's so calm out there and dressed in suits.
So they wouldn't wear suits if there were space.
Well, no, because they would
about.
be scared of the animals tearing them apart.
Wouldn't they just be inside?
That would be the smarter thing to do, yes. Well, I believe I entrusted you some gold. Well, you see, the election, the mayor himself, the wonderful, horrendous man he is, he's pushed it back 3 weeks. So, I can't get access to the funds, but I'll just give you some of my personal money. He opens a desk drawer, pulls out a pouch, and gives it to you. And it's got about 100 gold in it.
All right.
He's like, for all of you.
I will turn to the party if possible, if that's okay, and go. So I think it's only fair that we split this 4 ways. But how about no wages for a week?
I have my orb, so I'm fine for a few weeks.
Are we talking a 7-day week? That's
A 5-day working day, of course. You get the weekends off sometimes.
Oh wow, so generous.
The bank holidays aren't included, though. Is that okay with you all?
Yeah.
I mean, 25 gold each.
That's like 5 days worth of wages.
Yeah. It's just what's it called?
Payment in advance. You said.
Yes. Yeah, so essentially your wage for... Yeah, your wage. This is your wage.
Well,
Okay.
there's enough at stake here for me to not care that much about it, so sure, why not?
There you go. So you'll get 25 gold.
as you hand the Catawumpus his 25 gold. Are you just handing it in like the coins, or are you handing it in.
He'll be
pouch or whatever.
like one by one coin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, as soon as you go to drop the first one in, you notice that he's still got the 5 that you handed him earlier in his paw. So as soon as you go to drop the first one in, he just tips out the 5 that was already in onto the floor, and then just catches the ones you're dropping, having dropped the previous 5 onto the floor.
Well, maybe we'll... I'll pay you daily, and he'll take back 25 gold, because he's already given you 20.
That was a strange interaction.
Sorry, it's all new. We're trying to work this thing out.
I didn't realize you were an entrepreneur.
I'm an employer. What can I say?
5 gold a day. That's unheard of.
Yes, it wasn't my decision. It was sprung on me quite sporadically. I was thinking more 3 silver, but that's,
Well, let's see what Torna says. And you wait a few minutes, and this pale-skinned, white hair female snow elf comes in, and she is the head mage of the Mage Guild in Ostbourne. She's like, I was summoned. What's the problem? Well, could you have a look at this orb? It's apparently important.
Please be careful with it. Thanks.
It caused rabies of some kind.
Space rabies.
Space rabies, yes. And she picks it up, and she does a little magic on it, and she's like, well, it's a scrying orb. It's a scrying eye. I don't know how that would cause space rabies. What exactly happened? You don't have to explain it all again. You can just say...
Yes, all right, I'll do that.
Because you've already explained it once. Well, you explain this for like 10 minutes, and she's like, oh. And she's sort of just frantically, like, those scenes in movies where the fucking symbols go across the screen like someone's doing maths in their head. That, at the moment. And then she looks up, and she's sort of just been absorbed in the orb, and then she sees Catawumpus, and she's like, what are you doing here? And you can decide if you remember or not, but you remember you at one point met a coven of wizards.
Yep.
And she was one of them.
Oh shit. Yeah, Catawumpus would remember that. He wouldn't think much of it, but he would.
Why do you always turn up at when the time... How do you do this?
The Catawumpus is where the Catawumpus needs to be.
Huh. Well, you said something about probe, correct? I can't really say anything about that. NDAs, you know how it is. But if you believe this is to do with something called probe, you would probably have to seek an audience with the Empress herself.
What?
Yes.
How come?
I can't say.
You can't, but you can say that we need to see the Empress.
I can say that you need to see the Empress if it's about a word called probe. Any other information is not...
How far away is Enya?
Does anyone here have detect thoughts?
No. I could just charm her, and but she's probably got really high wisdom.
Oh, yes. Use your Casanova skills.
Yeah. But that's probably not a good idea.
About 2 weeks away.
Oh. We won't go there then. Like, is it on track?
Yeah, you would assume so. You would want to hit up the capital.
You couldn't get us a performance. We're a performing act here. You couldn't get us a performance with the Empress.
Absolutely, I can.
Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, if you could arrange that, we would be happy to perform our arts in front of her.
Yes, of course I can.
Great! That sounds amazing!
The amount of free exposure right here.
She runs off.
Guys, this is really good for us.
What the fuck is going on?
She leaves the orb in the room, hands it back to one of you.
Me!
I'll hand it to Kasper if I get it. Casper, here we are. You can have this.
Thank you.
Peer has serious concern on his face.
I mean, Peer, you would know the Empress. You know the Empress. You've had many war meetings with her.
No, was I on her side?
Yeah.
Was I on the losing side?
Both sides lost because it became a peace.
Oh, yeah. True. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
loses because there's peace.
Yeah.
What?
We were losing the battle, but we won the war.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha. So I would know her, personally.
Yes, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe not on a deep level, but you know her and you've been in council meetings with her.
She's got some good gold about her. I can tell
Yeah.
you that much.
And Torna comes back with just a slip of paper. Well, just hand this to a guard. They'll take you to one of her servants, and they'll arrange a performance probably within a couple of days of you getting there.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I would take it very, carefully from her. He's slightly shocked, as you can tell.
I'll make something to put that in later so we don't actually lose it. Don't you worry. I mean, she'll know me, but maybe. It's been a while.
She looks at the orb again, sort of just takes it out of your hand again. Sort of like snatching. She snatches it out of Casper's hands.
Don't you touch his egg like that. Wait, hang on a minute. His egg?
He's hanging on to it, like dangling from it. He's not letting go.
Dangling from it. She's just looking at it. I would keep it in a bag, because someone is on the other side.
Well, Boris resides within my shirt, so is that a bag enough?
Wait, it wasn't an imaginary friend?
I mean, to me, it's always been an imaginary friend.
So the orb was talking to you?
Well, yeah. Don't imaginary friends talk to you?
Wait, so Boris was real all along? What? What kind of things has this Boris been saying to you?
He's my daddy.
Don't tell them.
He's my daddy, and we will have many long walks along the beach and eat many pancakes together, and
He's just gonna spew a bunch of nonsensical things.
Doesn't sound like a bad man.
And at this point, she puts the orb and Casper back on the ground. Well, that doesn't sound like the person who it could be. I sensed evil intentions, but okay. Yes, I would try and head there as soon as you possibly can, if this is as you say, and you saw a vision of the world covered in purple and such.
What, head to Ernia? Or Enia?
Yes. I would head there as soon as you possibly can, because this is a pressing issue.
okay, on a scale of 1 to 10.
100.
Oh.
Oh, whoa, that's serious, bro.
Maybe we should go and sit down at a tavern, have a drink, and have a chat about this. It could disrupt the tour, that's all.
I love I was like, yes, this is on a scale of 1 to 10, 100 seriousness. Let's go to the pub. Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't want to rush a decision.
I mean, I can take it now and teleport if this tour is more important to you.
Don't trust teleportation.
Don't kidnap Boris.
Don't trust. I'm not going to kidnap him. It. Her. Them.
I think it was established that Boris was a father figure, so we can safely assume probably a he.
Well, yes.
Thank you.
Go there soon. Bad news. I will tell them you're on the way.
What, tell the Empress herself? Or...
Yes.
Oh.
And the cows, of course.
The cows?
Oh, yes.
Yes. The
Yes.
cows?
Yes.
How dare you call the Empress the cow?
No. The Council of Wizardry on Xanroth. The cows.
Yes, all the cows in the whole land just knowing about our tour.
We must tell the cows!
Quick, we must communicate with the cows. Moo! Just a giant.
No!
Whilst everyone is like confused about the cows, she teleports away, and she's Wilbur was just sort of sat there the whole time like, well, that doesn't sound good. I will ask one thing. I will send a constant stream of gold to you if over the next 3 weeks you any towns or cities you come across spread the good word about me so I win the fucking election.
What exactly would you like us to say?
Tell them I stopped space rabies, please.
Maybe you should print some pamphlets so we can hand them out.
Yeah, I mean, we could also spread some rumors about, what's his name? Revis, saying that he spread the rabies. And you stopped them. We could have, like, a little photo of you fighting him and beating him to the ground.
To be honest, Revis could have done that. He is, as I said, an incompetent ass. And, I mean, you're going to meet the Empress in 2 weeks, maybe slightly longer. Tell her about this as well, because she has the say, technically.
I'm sure we will win her over with our charm.
Do I remember her being a nice person?
Absolutely, yes.
She's a lovely person.
She was very nice to everyone.
Yeah, she's a nice person. I vaguely remember.
I think we need to sit down and talk about this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wilbur. The constant stream of gold would be fantastic. We will spread the word. The posters everywhere, the likes. Constant stream of gold means how much?
Well, 100 a week?
Okay. Yes. Fantastic.
For only till the election, I can only afford that.
No, I'm sure we can. We will make sure you
but,
win.
But again, you won't get it until you get somewhere with a post office, of course.
Oh, all right.
Where's the closest tavern?
Closest tavern, you would probably get kicked out of because you all look scruffy as fuck.
I mean, we can clean up first.
What the heck?
Oh, yeah, not here. No, we want to go to Cheapside.
Okay. You make your way back out of the expensive district in West Side.
Oh, before we leave the expensive district, is there any shops that would be of interest to us?
I mean, there's plenty of shops. What type of shop are you looking for?
Magic.
You want a magic shop? Oh, I forgot I made this a thing. There is one literally called the Fireball.
I will try and walk inside and have a quick look around, if possible.
Okay, you walk inside. It's quite busy. You walk in. Yeah, you can have a look around.
I tried hiding myself up a little bit, dust some blood off and.
Yeah, I mean, you do notice that everything in here is like 1,000 gold, probably 500 at the least.
All right, I'll leave.
Because everything is upmarked in this side of town until Wilbur gets in office, of course.
Okay.
And then everything will be equalized.
When I leave, I'll whisper to Kasper and go, if there's anything in that shop you wanted to take, feel free. Just don't get caught.
Okay.
Can I take a look into the shop to see anything that would be of value, but no one really, would care too much if gone?
Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm at 20.
Hey. Ooh. You're gonna need that again to get it out, though.
Let me analyze this room with, supernatural, sense. I can scan it and see how much it's... No,
Okay.
just
Big brain.
anything, let's just say, objects that are of, they're valuable to us, but they would not really care too much about just because of their class.
Okay. You see a dagger, which they probably won't.
Is it a magical dagger?
Yes. You also see just a metal stick. It's about 30 centimeters long.
I'll start with the stick.
You'll start with the stick. Okay, maybe a sleight of hand check, which is ridiculous because I gave you a stupid item.
Can I make a performance outside, just on a chest, just to try and distract something?
Don't worry, I got a 30. It's fine.
Whoa.
Jesus
Yikes.
Christ, man.
Well, I'm singing on my chair outside.
You can add to your inventory immovable rod.
Ooh, I like it.
The movable rod's amazing.
It's very good. We'll explain later.
I can't believe I gave you gloves of thievery at level 2. Okay.
Learning experience.
Right. Do you want to try for the dagger as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ooh, don't push it.
Roll.
Bardic Inspiration through a window. What?
Okay, so you're performing outside. The shop clerk comes outside and is like, "Get away! What are you doing?"
18.
So you got Bardic Inspiration, so you can plus something to that. You can add a D6. You add a D6 to that.
Okay. That's a 22.
Ooh. I'll speak to the shopkeeper and go, just listen to the song. It's designed for you. It will bring in customers. Just listen for a minute.
Leave!
Diddly-loo, diddly-diddly, diddly-loo. And the duck walks up to a lemonade stand.
He goes back into the shop and gets a one of those things that is bad, but you spray cats with it. Yeah.
Is that a mister? I don't know.
Oh, I'm being sprayed by cat spray.
Yeah, like a water
just water
sprayer. Yeah. And he just sort of spritzes you like, move.
Oh, fine.
The Catawumpus would swat it out of his hand.
I'll have you know that the Empress is going to listen to this performance very shortly, a couple of weeks' time, and I will make sure she knows that this shop is unacceptable.
Well, you know what? I don't believe you. Fuck off.
I'll leave at that point. Try not to call the guards over.
What did you roll?
I 22 with the added inspiration stuff.
Okay. Let me roll a perception check. That's a nat 20 perception check. A shop, a customer, that's the word. A customer sees you and is like, thief! And every shop here has security because they're all fucking assholes. The security comes up to you, grabs you by the scruff of the neck like in the vision that you saw previously, and throws you outside, and you hit the building on the opposite side of the street, and you take 3 damage.
Oop. And Kasper instantly checks whether his orb is hurt or not.
The orb is fine.
Okay,
Neil will say, well, I think we realise where we're not wanted. Let's leave, everybody.
Are there any forges this side of the town? Any armories?
That we can rob?
I feel like it's going to be too expensive, man.
Oh, I just want to talk to them.
Oh,
and
fine.
I can rob them.
Yeah, there's a couple of forges, yeah. At this point, since you just got out of a magic shop, you do realise that Bisque did promise you 1 free magic item each for finding out what happened to the orb.
Yes, he did. I'm going to talk to him about that.
Oh yeah, the orb! I have the orb, it's mine! He can't have it.
So do you go to a forge, or do you want to go to Bisque?
So does he want the orb, or does he want to...
He said when you were there, I don't really care if you give it back, I just want to know what happened.
Then I'll go to Bisque.
All in
come
agreement?
on.
Yeah.
That's more important, I think.
You all
Perfect.
head out of West Side, and the gate gets slammed behind you.
Oh, jeez.
You can tell it's a very uptight area of town, and part of Wilbur's whole spiel of becoming mayor is making everything equal and getting rid of the toll bridge and everything, and just making the city good. You go back to the very thin orange shop, which Pierre cannot fit in, and you head in. The bell goes... Bling, bling, bling. That was my impression of a bell.
Hello?
Hello.
Biz!
Kasper! Did you find out about the orb?
His name is Boris, and the orb is fine.
The orb is spying?
Fine!
Oh, fine. Okay.
And
He
Cool.
holds it up, presents it carefully.
Cool. So you killed the bastard that took it, yes?
Yes, I think.
His name was Jeff.
Well, we killed 8 of them. 7 of them.
6 of them.
6 of them. Sorry, bodies just merge into one.
Math
It's fine.
is hard.
Okay. Well, I believe I promised you some stuff. Head to the drive-through window. I'll bring it
Drive-through?
out.
A drive-through.
The walk-through window, because your friend is too big. I'll bring them to the windowsill.
How
So
kind
you can
of you.
you can
How
have your pick.
considerate.
As we're leaving to go back outside, to go to this window, right? Like,
Mhm.
is there anything mildly interesting that catches the Catawumpus's eye as we walk? It could be as simple as a rock that has a chip in it that makes the bit of rock that chip look shiny.
Well, there's definitely a shiny rock.
There's definitely a shiny rock. Does
Yeah.
it interest the Catawumpus?
Roll a d20.
That would be a 16.
It interests you heavily,
The
yeah.
Catawumpus picks up the rock.
Okay. He's in the back, so he doesn't notice. But yes, as you make your way outside, he gradually comes over with his arms full of stuff, and he brings out 6 items to you guys. He lays them all out one by one. He lays out 2 cloaks, a bag, another interesting-looking stone, a set of goggles, and some boots, but they look formable for hooves. Seems like he's made them. And a lute.
A lute?
And he lays them all out on the windowsill. It's like, what takes your fancy? I'll explain them, whatever one you want.
All of them.
One by one,
Okay.
please.
Well, this... He picks up a small grey bag. You see, he opens it, and you look inside. Don't take any. You see some small fuzzy balls. This is called a bag of critters. And what you see, it looks like an ordinary bag, but you reach in, grab one of these balls, and you throw it on the ground, and you have a little guy to help you. I'll show you. He takes one out, throws it on the ground outside the shop, and someone roll me a d8.
2.
A giant rat comes out.
Whoa!
Oh! Not again! Kill it!
The Catawumpus would immediately try to spike it through the head with his toe claw. That would be an 18.
18, that hits. roll damage, I suppose.
7.
You do enough damage to kill it exactly. He's like, I was gonna use it to help me. Okay. Well, you can pull 3 of these balls, because there's only 3 in the bag, and then at the beginning of every day they come back, and you can do it again. So that's that. That's the bag of critters. These boots. You see, I'm quite gifted in fortunes, as Kasper might have told you. So I could see into each of you, see sort of something that might appeal to each of you, and some things that just might appeal to all of you. So these obviously appeal to you, horseman. These are boots that will, well, I hear you, your hooves make a lot of noise.
Yes.
They won't with these. Silent they'll be.
Does that work for my heavy armor as well?
So mechanically, it will take you from disadvantage to flat.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That solves a problem, I suppose.
Because usually it would give you advantage, but
Yeah, since I'm heavily disadvantaged, being
yeah.
flat is in fact the advantage.
Yeah. So, something you may enjoy. And then he picks up these goggles, which have like wing tips. These, well, you know what owls are?
Yeah.
You know how they can see during the night time?
Yes.
These help you do that.
Whoa!
And in darkness, yes. You would get 60 foot of dark vision. Now, this cloak. He pulls out this big black cloak. This cloak is called the Cloak of Shadow. It gives you better hidey num-nums, yes.
What's num num? What's num num about it? Is my question.
Well, it gives you advantage on stealth checks.
Oh, nice.
That's very num num.
When he's describing this, he's gesturing towards the cat who only wears a cloak.
The Catawumpus isn't paying attention. He's got a rock to look at.
Okay. Well, he picks up this rock. It's like the shape of a cat with green emerald eyes.
Is it shiny?
The emeralds are, yes.
The Catawumpus is now paying attention.
Okay. Well, this just makes you better at everything, actually. Mechanically, it will give you a +1 bonus to all ability checks and saving throws.
Whoa, that's huge.
Dang.
Dude!
It is the Stone of Good Luck. The Luck
Wow.
Stone, yes.
That's intense.
Everyone's gonna fight over that.
Neil doesn't need anything like that. He's skilled enough.
He pulls out another cloak. This is sort of like a blue cloak. And this one, it's quite helpful for shielding yourself. Mechanically, you would get a +1 bonus to AC if you wore this cloak. And attuned to it. And then...
AC, you say? 21 at level 2?
Oh, Jesus.
Then he picks up this lute and he gestures towards the bard. He's like, now, this, you. I saw into you that your only carrying weapon is a hammer.
Yes, it is I did have a dagger, but I lost that.
Well, that sucks. A hammer sucks, dagger sucks. So, this lute, although it looks like a lute, you can strap it on your back, but he grabs I don't know what the bit's called, the head of it where you tune it. Can't remember what it's called. And he says some sort of incantation. And then the strings magically retract, and then he pulls from the shaft of the lute a short sword, a +1 short sword. He puts it back in, and then the strings come back, and you can play it like a normal lute again.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
And you can set your safe word.
Pineapple.
Yes, you can set your word to anything, and then when you say that word, it will come out, and you can use it in case you're ever in close
It will
combat.
definitely come out.
Yes. But yes, that's the spread of items I can afford to part with. Pick one each.
I would like the cloak.
Huh? Do you?
The
Which
thing
one?
the one that gives you 1 AC.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a cloak. Okay. Well, after you all, I'll pick last.
Casper looks at the Catawumpus.
Is anyone else gonna have the cloak? Does anyone else want the cloak?
Mm-mm.
It would
My
be
AC's
cool.
already 10, dude. It can't get much better.
Cloak's mine.
Okay, well, spent all this time making fucking hoof boots.
I'm sorry, but if you haven't noticed by the sheer amount of armor on me, stealth is not my primary option here.
Would the hoof boots happen to fit as a Catawumpus's feet also?
Yes, they're malleable. They will just as soon as you put them on, they will just fit to your feet. He just made them look like hooves to try and sell them to Pier.
I will not be consumed by your aggressive marketing tactics.
Is there 4 of them?
There is 4 of them, yeah, but only if you say you want them, he will take 2 away and give you 2 because you only have 2 feet.
Wait, he's got paws.
That's true, but
Wait, so if I take the shoes, you take the cloak.
Exactly. And then
Oh yeah, then you can just have an extra pair.
he got
yeah.
2 pairs for free.
As soon as you picked up the cloak, he took 2 of the boots away and.
Oh, man. Gosh darn
Damn,
my haste.
metagaming.
What? You're punishing us for metagaming? Oh my god.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, that
Should've
would have
just
been
done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have suspected the thing until you did it.
Casper, what would you like?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of waiting for the Catawumpus, because I got my orbs. I feel like I've gotten a lot of rewards, and I feel like the Catawumpus deserves to pick first.
I mean, what I can tell you for certain is the Catawumpus was at one point interested in the rock that he's holding, and he's not necessarily sure if he's interested in any of these other items being placed in his hand. I think so. There's 6 items on the thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Look, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do it the only way that I think makes sense for the Catawumpus. I'm going to do it based completely off of the Vims. So first off, I'm going to see if Catawumpus is even interested in picking up an item at all, which will need me to roll an 11 or higher to see if any of them are going to supplant the rock that he's holding. That's 16. So Catawumpus is interested in an item. So there's 6 items left on the thing, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to roll a d6, and whatever number it lands on is the items that the Catawumpus will be picking up.
Okay.
3.
That's the goggles of night vision.
They're somewhat reflective.
Of which, Catawumpus already has 90 feet of dark vision. So he would have 150 feet of dark vision.
Wait, does it stack? Oh, increases its range by 60 feet. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man can see everything.
Casper is sweating, dude. This decision. The whole letting Catawumpus pick first, that the good feel that he got from that just completely left his body. He squinted as he took up the goggles, because he kind of low-key wanted that. But Casper will instead reluctantly pick up. I gotta flip something, dude, because it's between 2 things. He'll pick up the little bag of critters.
Okay. Neil?
Now, originally, Neil would want, obviously, the loot.
Mm-hmm.
But leaving that stone untaken.
That's true. Yes.
Would be
And
stupid.
you have jack of all trades, so you're good at everything.
It would be huge. He would be better at everything.
Hold on. So how much do these items cost if we just bought them?
Sorry, I will ask. How much is the loot?
The loot, well, that's custom made, so probably like 800 gold.
What about the stone?
The stone? Let me just check. 2,500.
Yeah.
The stone? What about the bag? Did I
The
make
bag?
the bad choice?
50 gold.
Let me see the bag.
I picked the bag over the stone.
It's 900.
I'm taking the stone.
Okay, another fucking time
but
wasted.
Could you possibly, with the loot, is there any way we could do some form of payment plan, or maybe
Certainly.
I could trade my soul for it? Something.
Certainly, yes.
How about a purple orb?
You want to give me back the item that was
No.
stolen from the shop?
No.
No, yes, no, yes.
It's my dad. My
Okay.
imaginary dad.
We can set up a credit system like I did with the gloves earlier.
Oh, we pay for the gloves.
Wait, what? Am I paying for that? I forgot already.
It's 100 gold for you, and you paid 50. You still owe him 50.
How about would you like a mighty acorn?
You bought that from me earlier. It's worth 10 gold.
Oh yes. Sorry. How about a wand of polymorph?
One polymorph. Let me do maths in my head really quick.
A dead eel?
What?
Several owl bear feathers?
I'll take the wand.
For the loot.
Yeah, sure. Certainly.
It's very tempting. But I feel
Again, we can just do gold and you can just send the rest.
But 800 gold's quite a lot.
Yes.
You know what? Let me take the stone, and I'll come back for the loot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to put it on a shelf. If someone else buys it, it's your fault.
No one's going to buy that. Don't be silly. All right, I'll take the stone.
Yeah, he brings everything else back inside, and he just puts it on the shelves again, and then he says, "Okay, well, thank you for finding out about the orb." And he tries to get Kasper to come in separately, just alone. Come with me, Kasper. Well, he takes you to the counter in the shop, and he reaches down and brings a bag of gold out and gives it to you, and says, "The gloves I was going to give to you before you left anyway. So
What? Really?
no worries about the gold.
Are you sure?
Anything for a fellow circus survivor."
Thanks.
And it's like, yes,
Okay.
well, don't keep them waiting. You're no longer in debt.
Yippee! Debt free!
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Gust of Wanderlust. If you did enjoy this episode, please be sure to leave us a rating and a review, or tell your family and friends about the podcast, as that will help us reach more people and also tell the algorithm that people are enjoying what we're doing and that it's good. If you want to keep up to date with the podcast outside of, well, the podcast, you can do so on every social media platform at Gust of Wander. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on X at ChazzaTweets, on Instagram at Chazstagram, and on Twitch at ChazzaStreams. If you want to follow Sam, you can do so on X and Twitch at SolarisVT. If you want to follow Rayla, you can do so on X and Twitch at CasualRayla. If you want to follow Taylor, you can do so on X, Twitch, and YouTube at ForTheJaffas. And Matt is nowhere to be found as far as we know. Our next episode will be coming out next Tuesday, and we thank you once again for listening, and we will see you then.